How's it going, guys? My name is Mark, and I am making a homemade airsoft helmet. Which I'm not saying this is like professional made. This is actually just again homemade. Um, I said this is a cool idea, a cool little project to do. So what I did right here, I actually cut out the template, and I got the template for free on off of YouTube. This guy from Japan posted a video about how to make a Kamen Rider helmet, which this is that template because one, it's free, and the Kamen Rider helmet. This was actually the basic helmet they had, and yeah, I was like, can't doesn't hurt, so it's nothing too fancy. It's just a blank helmet. It doesn't have the big bug eyes like most Kamen Riders have. But so what I actually did, like you said, like you saw right there, I put safety pins on to hold the template down so it doesn't move when I trace it, and then I cut out that section just because it's easier to cut foam in smaller pieces than having a giant sheet of foam and trying to cut it all like right then and there. So I recommend cutting it and then cutting out in smaller pieces and doing it like that. So the helmet right there on the left side is actually the first helmet I made, and that is 10 millimeter foam. 10 millimeter foam with this mesh I have. I'm actually layered that mesh 3 different times. So yeah, it was able to withstand a BB from 25 feet, 10 feet, and then 5 feet, just because where I go play airsoft at, the minimum engagement distance is actually like, there's actually no minimum engagement distance, so I can literally be 2 feet away from you and shoot you and it would be okay. So I recommend actually buying proper PPE, as in proper how do I put proper personal protective equipment, because the field I went to, the ref wasn't comfortable with me having a homemade helmet, and I told him, hey, I understand. I'm not gonna go into your house and put my feet on the table when you don't even do that. So always respects the ref's wishes, and so yeah, it's the ref, so you kind of gotta listen to him. But he told me if I wanted to, I could have worn a helmet, but I told him, hey, again, if you don't feel comfortable with it, I don't feel comfortable with it. Then, even though I made it and I feel comfortable with whatever I made, but I'm not gonna push his boundaries and see if I can get away with it just because sometimes I'm cheap. But yeah, that day I went, I actually had PPE with me, so I had the goggles and I had a half mask, so I was able to play. But this weekend I'm going back to play airsoft again, and I actually have this helmet finished. And the difference between the one I'm making right now and the one I made on the left side is that the one I'm making right now is 5 millimeter foam. And if you never used foam, EVA foam before, the thinner the foam, the easier it is to mold, or not to mold, to reshape and modify it. The one on the left side, that's 10 millimeter foam, and that shape it is right there, that's basically the shape I'm gonna get it to, unless I'm cutting it and yeah, just cutting it and was it grinding, not grinding, but sanding it down. So with 5 millimeter foam, I can heat it and reshape it. So that's what I'm doing right now, is going from a flat piece of sheet to an actually rounded piece of sheet right now. And the reason why I heat my foam before I glue it together is because to me it's easier to glue it together when it's actually closer to the shape I wanted it to be. So If you look at it, I actually heat one piece at a time, and I use my knee to shape the round, make it round. So the piece right there, you remember how I said smaller pieces are easier to use or to work with? It's true, because that piece is bigger than those other two pieces, and that's actually the back piece. The other two pieces are the front piece, and yeah, I don't have eye holes in there. So yeah, the template doesn't have eye holes in it, so you actually have to measure your face and see which eye holes, where your eye holes is going to be at. But yeah, um, these pieces I'm using to glue these pieces together. I'm using concrete cement, and it's just, I got it from Walmart for like $4. It wasn't too expensive for that small bottle, but to me it's worth it, because if you use hot glue on this, hot glue, when it heats back up, it can come apart, and you're gonna have this helmet on playing airsoft. And if you never play airsoft before, you sweat, you get hot. All right, you get hot, you sweat, you get nasty, and I don't want to be in the middle of a game and my helmet comes apart because I'm getting hot. So I use concrete cement, because over time concrete cement does not come apart even with heat. It can come apart if you don't put enough on it, but what I actually do, I actually put like a thick layer of concrete cement on this foam, and to help this foam I actually grind it down the edges. I didn't put the video of me grinding it down, because then the video would have been longer than 20 minutes. I don't want to do that to y'all, but I ground down the edges so that it can actually go and like get in there, and stick. But yeah, if you notice, I'm actually doing one piece at a time on one side, and then I go to another piece and then do one side of that as well. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can get this done faster, and I don't have to wait as long for it to dry, because you can't put this concrete cement together like as soon as you put it on it when it's wet, because when it's wet it doesn't stick and doesn't stay. So you have to actually let it sit there and let it dry for a couple of minutes. And for me, I think the longest I waited was like maybe 10 minutes, and the shortest I waited was like maybe 4 minutes, 3 minutes, not even that long. But I recommend waiting at least 5 minutes for this, because the longer you wait and you let it dry, I don't want to say the longer you wait, but when you actually let it dry and you put it together and you pinch it together, it does not come apart at all. Like, I actually had to cut the piece and made a separate cut than the original cut on it, because the concrete cement on it actually dried to the point it was actually dry, and it actually made it into one piece. So yeah, that was more complicated than I said it, but yeah. So with there's actually 3 different pieces, like solid pieces. I'm putting it together. The 2 smaller pieces are actually the front piece, and they make a giant front piece, which to me was a little bit bigger than my face, but it was worth it. Even though I reshaped this mask to my face, it's not in a video, but like I should probably okay, so this video is just me making a mask. I'm not modifying it to airsoft standards to where I put mesh in it or anything. I only put the mask together, cut out the eye holes, and that's it. So I should make another video of me modifying the mask, but I think by the time I actually had this video done and edited, I went ahead and put in the mesh fence or mesh in it already, and heat it and retreat it to my face. So basically, it's already the shape of my head. It's smaller than what this actually is. This template made a big mask, alright, or a big helmet. I had enough room to like move, like put my hand in it, put a pair of goggles inside of it. But the reason why I wanted this helmet and not just a half mask one, because I did made a half mask one, was because I wanted that full head protection. Because I have been shot in the back of the head and it was not fun. It stunk. I think I still have a bruise or a little bump from it. But yeah, with this mask, after I'm done with it and fully done with it, as in like it's airsoft standard and everything, I'm gonna test it out by shooting it multiple times at 25 feet, 15 feet, and then 5 feet, just to make sure that like it's able to withstand a BB from those distances. Bad thing, worst case scenario is that it doesn't and I just wasted all my time on doing this. Best case scenario, it does and I can just, it does like protect, or the BB doesn't go through and like it's fine. But even if the BB does go through it, I can always put more foam padding, because this is 5mm foam. It's thin. It's thinner than the 10mm, but it's thin enough to where I can stack sheets on top of each other and make it better to withstand BBs. But yeah, what I actually did, you can see right there on the back of the head, I actually put concrete cement on it. I had to wait a little bit, and this video is actually 4 times the speed, like normal speed. So I'm actually taking my time putting all these seams together. And you can see me right there trying to pinch it together, but I didn't wait long enough for it to dry, and so now I had to like actually play with it to try to make it stay in place. But yeah, again, I recommend buying your own PPE, your personal protective equipment, just in case you do make this helmet and you go out there to a game and the ref said no, you can't make any of that. But enough said. This helmet was fun. I enjoy making helmets or making stuff like this. I also do cosplay because, you know, dressing up as your favorite superhero is pretty fun and it's awesome. You feel cool, feel like an actual hero, you know. But I like Red Hood, and that's why I'm doing this helmet, because next video I'm gonna paint it red as well, and then kind of show you how to do that. But it's spray paint. But I chose this helmet because one is basic, simple. It doesn't have too many details you have to put in there. It's just a simple helmet that you can use and reshape it. And if you want it to, you can also, like, you know, make your own designs in it. Like, you know, I don't know, making a Punisher, not a Punisher mask, but, you know, he doesn't wear a mask, but I'm talking about like the skull on him. And then almost done with this helmet, I promise. If you stay this long watching this video, hearing me talk, I'm sorry. My voice, I do consider my voice annoying, but you know, it is what it is. This is what I got. Can't complain. But almost done. This helmet was really tricky to put it on kind of like this, because it's, again, this two giant pieces right there. I had to like do it in sections. So every section I did was like maybe 2 inches at a time, and like, oh, it was a pain, because like I didn't wait for the glue to dry, because you gotta put the glue on, let it dry, and then once it's dry you can put it together and it won't move at all. But enough said. This helmet looks pretty cool, even how it is right there. Like that piece right there, I put glue on, it's actually to hold the bottom and so your chin like sits on it basically, and it gives it more of a shape. So I actually think I cut that piece out a little bit, or make it less wide, just for the fact that like my head was too big to go through. So I actually cut the back of the helmet to get my head in there, But in a different video, I actually cut the helmet like in half, or not in half, but I took off like 2 inches off the back just to be able for it to actually be snug on my head, because I don't like to be running and then my helmet is like shaking and it's bouncing up and down. So yeah, I'd rather it be snug. But yeah, so this helmet came out pretty good, for someone being awake for like 16 hours after playing. Yeah, I stayed awake not all night, but like I went to work, and then after work I was like, I'm gonna do a helmet. So yeah, I was dead tired. But yeah, that's the helmet. It looks pretty good. Again, I don't recommend you making this helmet and then taking it to the field right then and there. There's also other things you have to do to this helmet to make it able to be good for airsoft. So this helmet's amazing. I like it. It wasn't too bad. You gotta put mesh in it. If you're gonna put actual lenses in it, you gotta make sure it's what's it called? Shell? Is it shell? No, I think it is. Yeah. Or not sofa, but something approved, so that it would be okay to have it in airsoft. But hey, if the ref says no to this and you bring it and you got nothing else, that's your fault. I already said it multiple times in this video to bring an extra set of PPE. You should already have an extra set of PPE just in case your first one fails in a game and then you can't play for the rest of the day. So it's always good to have multiple sets of PPE on you. But yeah, that's the helmet. The helmet looks good. Can't complain. More videos. Hopefully I get a video of me playing with this helmet on. I thought this helmet was cool. Part of airsoft is to look cool. So if you don't look cool, are you really playing airsoft? You got power slide into the middle of the hall and shoot someone. If you don't know where power slide is, look it up. If you don't, because you're probably too young for this. But yeah, this is it, and that's all, man. Hopefully I see you on the field.